So basically, when you consider Selenium, it has multiple components in it. The components of Selenium include Selenium IDE, which is a record and playback, Selenium RC, which is a older version of Selenium, which is remote control, where there has to be a server invoked between your Java code and your browser codings to convert all your Java codes into browser codings. And the upgraded version of Selenium is Selenium WebDriver.
Yeah, which is mostly being asked nowadays. I think people
Yes,
are asking for WebDriver. Okay.
Exactly. That is the one which is being asked today. And added to this, they are also asking for Selenium Grid, which is nothing but networking of systems to execute your test cases. You can have all the bunch of test cases in one single device, make it as a hub or an instructor, and the other devices as receiver or the nodes or the slave, whatever you mean it in a network. And you can just distribute all your test cases. Say, for example, you have 1,000 test cases. Every test case takes some time to execute. So that particular time into 1,000 is going to give you a bigger time. Be it even in seconds, that is going to give you a bigger time when it is into 1,000. Because every test case has multiple statements to be executed. When you have a grid, what you can do is you can distribute all the test cases to the various machines you have in the grid, and you can run it parallelly, which is termed as distributed running or parallel running.
No, I understood
and
that.
The other purpose of grid is, say for example, you want to test your application for multiple environments. For my Mozilla Firefox 20, Firefox 25, Firefox 30, 35, etc. You cannot put every driver into a single system. Because when you put a latest driver, the older one goes off and gets upgraded. In that case, to test your software or your web page in multiple environments, you use multiple devices with those environments installed in every device individually, and multiple OS installed in different devices, or you can connect a mobile device parallelly onto another device. Such networkings could be done with the help of grid.
Okay.
Parallel running on multiple environments and distributed running. So these are the four major components of Selenium.
Okay.
And today's trending component apart from this is going to be Selenium APM, which they generally don't term it as a component, but it is an advancement which tests mobile technology. That is iOS and Android.
Okay. Is that also covered in your?
So the course syllabus would be provided by the organization, I hope.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, right?
Yeah.
When we cover these topics, right? In addition to the theoretical knowledge, what kind of do we do any projects, or I mean, is there any real world kind of problems that we are trying to build test case against through using Selenium? What kind of problems are we solving? So what kind of experience are we able to, or can we expect from this tutorial?
Okay, I'll come to the point. So when you are doing this course, I don't go with theoreticals. Every point I put out is going to be practical, and you won't get any theory materials from me. You will get only the practical contents which you have developed as a program.
Okay.
And the practical stuffs would be on various public domains, which is accessible from open space. Because anyways, I could see some people telling that they'll give you projects, but the projects would be on corporate domains or some simulated web page. They would simulate a web page especially for the project and give you the project. But that doesn't serve the purpose, because something which is developed to test this and you are testing on it, it is not going to serve the purpose. You need to test on some real-time application.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you test that from? So I still have not understood when you say you test it on real-time application. What do you mean by that? Can you give an example?
Yeah, we go with many pages such as a Trivago or Redbus, or let's say some banking applications or Amazon, We go with different web pages for different technologies. So the technologies in today's environment that uses IT marketing and IT web testings are
Mm.
banking, pharmaceuticals,
Yeah.
and when you say the major thing is retail, the online retail stores.
Yeah. And
So all these are some major players,
I
and
got
we
it.
go with some of the major players who allow you to create account on their web page
I got it. I got
as
it.
a public person.
Okay. Just one question. I mean, it could maybe sound stupid, or maybe pardon my ignorance.
That's okay.
Uh, this Selenium is only used for testing web application, or some other kind of other like technology, like Java Swing, or kind of any .NET based application as well.
Well,
Or is it any?
Selenium supports multiple applications because when you use Selenium WebDriver, you
Mhm.
need to bring in the concept of a driver into the picture, where which driver are you going to use to
Mhm.
simulate the test cases?
Okay.
Are you going to use the Firefox driver? Are you going to use the Chrome driver? Are you going to use the Internet Explorer? So every driver has their own Selenium converted codes
So again,
developed
my
by them.
question is, you gave me three examples, but three examples are just web-based only. So my question is, I mean, in industry, sometimes in addition to the web pages, they have in-house applications which are developed and like the front end,
Okay, Windows base.
Windows based, or .NET based, or Java Swing based, right? They
Yeah.
have some front end which are in-house developed, or some other technology which is not web based, but they are like, yes, Windows based, but it's not actually web based. So can we test those also with the Selenium, or Selenium is not good fit for that?
Selenium is not completely expertise in this part, but still they have the framework which can test on the Windows based
Okay,
application.
no, that's what. But again, it's what I'm asking is, it's for understanding is that Selenium is more popular with the web-based testing,
Yes.
so that's where people use it mostly. I
Yeah.
can understand that by some twist and tweaks you can also use it for some, but I think it's not the tool of preferential tool for those testing, right?
Yes. There are two frameworks in Selenium, which is termed as Selenium Auto IT and Selenium Robot, which supports you in Windows based applications. Something like you add a plugin to your QTP and you do web based application, you add a plugin to your QTP and you do Java based application. So, likewise, Selenium has some frameworks pre built. That framework supports you in contacting and interacting with the desktop applications.
Okay. Uh, okay, so that's good. In addition to like, I mean, as far as the automation is concerned, so seems like this is where what other things are covered as far as the automation is concerned, like in addition to Selenium, just for interest sake. I mean, what else is kind of more in demand in the market? Like, I mean, I at QTP is like was used some time ago. I think we also like teach JMeter, or kind of some other testing tools. I mean, do you know what else is there? Like you were saying, there were some other requirements.
Basically, when a person is moving from manual with greater amount of experience, say 5 years plus of experience,
Mm-hmm.
they'll go with Selenium because Selenium is used by almost all the industry
Mm.
except the banking domain because banking domain has already purchased QDP license. So only for that reason they have not come into Selenium. Else, once the license is going to expire, they have also started getting into Selenium bit by bit because Selenium people have started proving on that part. And even QTP, when you consider the identifiers that you use in Selenium are going to be used in QTP, which was not there in earlier version, which is introduced in recent 12.5 version. A
Yeah.
technique which Selenium uses to identify an object on the web page, QTP is also using the same technique now, which was not there earlier, which has been introduced just now because QTP has found that Selenium is doing great.
Yeah, I think the important part is because within between Selenium and QTP, right? When it comes to scripting in QTP is generally Visual Basic based, or VB scripting based. In Selenium, I think is Java based, or close to kind of Java scripting, right?
Yeah, it's always the part of scripting when you come to Selenium because all your web pages are based on either Java or Ruby or Python or .NET. That is C sharp. So all your web applications are based on these programmings, and hence any of these programmings could interact with the web page easier in its own language.
So are you saying so? Okay, so that's what I think. If you can clarify more on that. So,
Yeah.
for example, like you have to write a script for tests or for doing a test case, right? For whatever it may be. Uh, it could begin with maybe you recording something like how you do in QTP, and then at the end you might have to extend that test script by introducing some more stuff by doing some
Yes,
kind of
enhancements.
hands-on, right? So my question is, regardless of what the web page is built on, right? Because
Yeah.
do you have to kind of write the test script in the same technology, or is it like that doesn't matter, right? I mean, you can choose any language
Yeah,
or
you can choose any language, but the only difficulty that you will face is when you are doing it in the same technology, objects would be accessed faster. There is no restriction with respect to the programming you're
yeah.
going to use.
But
You
then
can one sequence, I mean, one web page in the other language for testing. Say, for example, you have used JavaScript on your web page. You can use Java on Selenium to test on the web page. But if suppose you are going to use JavaScript, it supports you with all those attributes which are there in the web page directly.
is it possible? Can you show me a sample script code how it looks like in Selenium in Java,
Yeah, of
so
course.
that I know I'm kind of also helping Damni with Java learning, so I can probably on the side also understand to what complexity I have to go to
Yeah,
explain.
sure, I'll do it. Yeah, could you see that?
Yes. Okay. So you generally build this in Eclipse only
Yeah,
this
we build it in Eclipse, and Selenium supports almost all the IDEs that Java support. Eclipse, NetBeans, IntelliJ,
time?
all
Okay,
these.
cool. Okay. So is that it? Is that a test case, or is it like what is
Okay,
that?
I'll just explain about this test case.
Yeah,
Say, for
just
example, you are a Java tester. I mean,
uh-huh.
you are a Selenium tester in WhatsApp,
Okay.
and WhatsApp company has developed some new application. I mean, has brought in some new enhancement to the application,
Uh-huh.
and they wanted to check like how many such things are available on the page, or say, for example, they wanted to know how many chats have gone onto the page. Like, let's put it straightforward. Ja- WhatsApp has brought the web page now.
Uh-huh.
WhatsApp web.
Uh-huh.
Now on the WhatsApp web, WhatsApp wants to test if every contact that you have chat on your mobile is displayed on the web,
Okay.
or is there any defect in the relay while it is taking data from your mobile and putting on the web.
Okay.
So for that purpose, what I have simulated is I've just done printing the username, I mean printing the name of the person with whom we have contacted
Hmm.
and the last sent message. And it will also calculate how many users I have contacted on the contact page. So I'll just simulate this program. Okay. So let me just book a toggle mark here because we need WhatsApp to be synchronized. Every time you run the code, what happens is it opens a new window, which is fresh of memory with no bookmarks, with no histories and stuffs. So that is the only disadvantage of Selenium. Every time you are running a test case, you need to run it from the scratch.
You have to remove the bookmarks.
If we remove the bookmark, what happens is after it has gone onto the web page, it will start looking for the element. But the element will actually not be there because we will not be synchronizing it at that point of time. So we can automate this process as well by waiting for a particular thing for certain duration, which is a next level of automation. I'll just help that out in the courses anyways. So now for your demo, for a simple program, for you to understand that Selenium is such a simple program, I've just brought in this into picture. So now on this web page, I'm going to synchronize my mobile. And once my mobile is synchronized with the WhatsApp,
Hmm.
is the web page being shared with you?
We see, I mean, something, but it's green right now. It's not showing.
Okay, I'll just share the entire page better. Is that visible now?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So now I've just synchronized my WhatsApp with the web page. And I'm going to just run it after that.
You know what's bubble coffees? What am I going to want? I don't know where.
Okay.
But I don't want
So you can see that the last sent messages were recorded with the name. For you to understand a simple program, I have just put it forward with just 10 applications. I'll tell you how WhatsApp actually behaves and why it is showing just 10. Actually, you find every element using the inspector, that is the HTML view of the web page. So when you are inspecting this web page, and when you are into the HTML view of this web page, let's say you are inspecting some element over here, you can see that the size of the search bar is, you can see that the size of the search bar is this much. But when I start loading the other elements, you can see that the size of the search bar keeps decreasing. Because the elements load dynamically on WhatsApp web page. They are not preloaded. Only when you drag, they are getting loaded. So that is the purpose. You could see only 10 elements initially you enter the page. But once you load the page, you will get close to 500 elements in my WhatsApp chat. I'll just show you that again with all the 500 elements put together. So you got what is there till 10?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I just wanted to have it. I didn't have to go
So
through
this
complete.
much is a script for that.
Yeah,
And
but
once
then
I'm going to
you
stick with
just,
this toggle,
but you
and
wrote the
I'm going,
script manually, right? So there was, as far as the Selenium as a tool is there, are they just the libraries you're using, or there is something else, like as in like some, uh, it has a
Selenium,
dashboard kind of a thing that you can manage.
basically Selenium is not a tool. It is a suite which has multiple elements in it. And your Selenium is actually a package of classes when you consider scripting.
Okay, okay,
It
okay.
does not have a dashboard. It has package of classes.
Okay, so ultimately, so it's like at the end of the day, so you have to use like Java programming and integrate with those libraries using and then drive.
Yeah, of course, you know that Java programming, when we do it on IDE, it's going to give you the methods that are going to come under the class. So it will
Yeah,
be easier for you. When you consider class for this, you will have very less amount of class. So just writing the class name alone, you should put your mind into it. The rest IDE will take care of.
okay. Now, okay, so this is okay. This is good. Now, my question is, when somebody is supposed to, like, as far as the training part is concerned,
Yeah.
because it's happening online, like if
Okay.
somebody, like, I mean, suppose I have to learn that, so I need two computers, one computer just to see what you're doing, another to maybe practice it. How does a kind of a journal session go about, and how do you, like, because online training or in class training is separate, right? So there's an interaction, and people are also at the same time when it is happening, you are also doing some practice, and if there's a question you doubt it, how does
Okay. Yeah.
how does it work here? Like, I'm not very much familiar with how. Can you just wait, Shala? Hello, mom.
Yeah. I'll just put it forward. So it's like you have something termed as remote control activities on this Zoom tutoring, wherein you can provide the control of your computer to me.
Okay.
So in that case, what happens is your learning and your process of seeing the screen both comes into a single screen.
Okay. Tell me.
So where I can tell you to put some codes, I can do some codes, I can do debugging, or I can get you the softwares installed.
Okay.
Anything can
So
be done with the remote control.
okay. So the person who's at the other end can also take over the control and kind of do
Yeah,
some.
you can provide the control to me, and I can take it over. You have some options in Zoom for that.
Okay. And how about kind of setting up this thing afterwards in their own environment and maybe practicing what was being done and everything.
Yeah. So if at all you want to do everything on your own and learn, so there are two ways in which we can do. Can you just tell me on which operating system you're going to work with?
Windows.
Windows, and which version would it be?
I think in Windows 10, I guess.
Okay, that's comfortable then. I have Windows 10 as well in my system. Provided a student is going to XP or Windows 7, something else apart from what environment I have, I actually simulate the environment in VMware and I create the files for the class well in advance so that I don't waste the time of the student.
Okay.
Because few programs would work fine with 10, few programs would work fine with 7. If I'm going down to XP, I need to downgrade the version of Java I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot expect my student to also do the same process what I'm doing on Windows 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I downgrade myself to VMware in Windows XP and then I simulate everything over there and teach them.
Okay. And like you have more than one students in the class at one time, or this like how does it work?
Actually, it generally works in batches, but I need to check with Ambition if they are giving me individually or in a batch. I do both trainings, but I need to check with them on what is sort of training that they have planned for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that question. Namini's requirement is very unique, and we are customizing everything for her, because generally for QA, we have QA as just manual testing, automation testing, sometimes Selenium or QTP, depending on the requirement of our students. So in this case, if we do not get any such requirement wherein, because she already has 6 years of good experience and she wants advanced level, so clubbing somebody in her batch does not suit the purpose of Tamini. So
And
in this case,
I would
might
like
not
to put
have.
one more point.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, Natarajan, please go
So
ahead.
she has also gone through QDP and she knows what automation can do actually. When you say some people who are new to the industry, I mean, who are new from manual to automation, they'll be very blank. They do not know what automation can go to. What is the limit that automation can reach? So, but she has experience in QDP, so it would be a unique requirement, I believe.
Yeah, and Natarajan, if just one question, if suppose as far as if we have to go for the advanced level of QTP,
Yeah.
one of the challenges, I'll be honest with you, is as you rightly mentioned, is that some of the banks, they are still asking for like QTP and their experience with that. If in
Yeah.
addition to Selenium we have to go like kind of an advanced level where it is more about scripting and stuff like that, and the problems related to that, can that be clubbed together with this one as well, or no, there's a separate thing for that?
No, I am in the process of understanding QDP. I cannot suggest you this part. Maybe you have to ask the organization if they have other trainers.
Okay. So mostly you generally do training in Selenium. Okay.
I do advanced in Selenium and basic when it comes to QDP.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I could do all the activities on QDP, but not everything on scripting. I am under the process of learning it now.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. If there is any other thing that you need any other questions, just let us know. We're definitely interested in moving forward. It's just that we obviously the idea is to basically see we can get the best use of kind of this thing and the environment. And obviously, again, she's working right now, so it has to be during off peak hours. Generally, it happens on the weekend or it happens on the at least on the broader basis. You can still come back to me details, but generally the training happens on weekends, or it happens every day after after work hours or after 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. I don't know what was discussed with them, just as a curiosity.
You just provide your availability to Mona or Narmada. I'll just discuss with them and we'll get you a schedule for that.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you, Natarajan. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.